Firefighters in Israel battling massive flames for a fourth day now, but we're hearing tonight for the very first time the worst may be over. Word that the fire is finally under control. Much of the relief thanks to a U.S. aircraft. That one right there is a Boeing Evergreen 747 supertanker. It is the largest firefighting plane in the world, carrying nearly 21,000 gallons of water and flame retardant to fight Israel's largest fire ever, which has destroyed acres of woodlands and killed over 40 people. Leland Vittert is live in northern Israel tonight with the very latest.
Julie, the good news here is the fire is out, but as people are being allowed back into their villages, 13,000 evacuees, they're coming home. They're not finding a lot of house to come home to. There's a lot of stuff burned beyond recognition. You can imagine the heat it takes to do this to metal. They're, of course, sad. They're also pretty angry. I'm going to show you why. These are the fire hoses that residents were having to fight the fire with. That's because the fire service here in Israel was so understaffed and so unprepared for a fire like this. The big question here tonight is how could that happen in this country? It has a lot of local reporters referring to the fire and the aftermath as the Great Fiasco. Just the look of the American supertanker makes it clear this is a game changer, and it can't come soon enough in the fight against Israel's worst forest fire in history. With the burned out shells of cars turned white by the searing heat, some kibbutzes look like war zones. Israel can deal with war, but wildfires brought this country to its knees. Often ill-equipped firefighters had to give up the fight and let their country burn, while their prime minister had to ask the world to send in the water bombers Israel decided not to buy. These are the water bombers that could have saved this kibbutz. Sadly, they came too late. Inside these homes, it is profoundly sad. We're staying on the top floor. You can see the sun shining in here from the ceiling. You can see the walls that have been burned. The people who lived here left with the clothes on their back, and they simply hoped that it wasn't true.
You see on the news and you know it's a big fire and everything, it's a forest fire, and you see all the planes, but you come here and you don't understand how big it is. There's nothing left, nothing.
And of course, the cleanup for any of these fires takes an awful long time, but it's going to be a lot longer than most people would even think, because a number of these homes here are filled with asbestos products, so they're going to have to bring in hazardous materials teams. And of course, Julie, all that only adds to the cost of this fire, which is now reaching into the hundreds of millions of dollars for this country.
Wow. All right, Leland Vittert, thank you very much. A railway rescue in Madrid, Spain, caught on tape. In the far left corner of your screen, take a look. You're going to see a man stumble and fall right there on the tracks. Then watch what happens next. The guy isn't moving. The people on the other side of the platform begin to scream and panic. And then they start waving. That train is going to barrel toward the guy. They're trying to get it to stop. Then on the right side of your screen, watch as a man jumps down. There he is onto the tracks. He goes right over. He pulls the man, picks him up. Notice the guy's not even moving, right out in time before the train pulls in. Literally within seconds, this man would have been dead. He says he could hear the train trying to brake. Of course, it never would have had enough time to stop. The rescuer, by the way, a hero, was an off-duty policeman. Mother Nature hitting Minnesota and Wisconsin hard back here in the United States, dumping over a foot of snow on the Twin Cities and other areas.